talk to Meri about like what she wants to do for the holidays. She's the only one that's interested in spending it together.
Season 18, episode 1, about 18 minutes in. If any other sister wife had shown up at Robyn's door, I would have expected that Robyn wouldn't let them in. I mean, can you imagine Janelle or Christine knocking on Robyn's door and Robyn say, yeah, come on, girl, let's talk. No, of course not. But the fact that in this moment, Meri came to Robyn's house and Robyn wouldn't let her in is something that we need to talk about. As always, I'm trying to make sense of what the Browns are doing. Even when it doesn't seem reasonable, they do have some reason. My favorite way to do that is by looking back at things they've said or things they've done in the past. So that's what we're going to do to try to figure out why Robyn didn't let Meri come inside her house in season 18, episode 1. If you missed the first episode of season 18, here's the scene that we're going to be talking about. All right, picture this. Commercial break just ended. It's a new segment. Meri's fast walking up the walkway in front of Robyn's beautiful, large, is it 5-bedroom, 6-bedroom? I don't know. It's a big, beautiful house. Sectional couch, huge dining room, plenty of places to sit. Meri is breathing fast and trying to wrap this like shawl around her shoulders. Meri is giving us a lot of signs that it is cold outside. Meri knocks on Robyn's door, and within just a second, Robyn opens the door. I mean, she was obviously standing there just watching Meri walk up to the door. But anyway, Robyn opens the door and says, hey, I saw you pull up. Robyn has her winter coat on. Her hand is in her pocket. She shuts the door to her home very quickly. Now, Robyn is giving us a lot of signs that it is cold outside. To me, their positioning in this interaction is perfect in its symbolism. Robyn might be a little bit taller than Meri, and added to that, she's standing on her front steps. So for a moment, Robyn is literally looking down at Meri as Meri struggles to take care of herself. That is just the perfect symbolism. It's just their relationship in a nutshell as Robyn watches from above as Meri struggles to find the right thing to do. Well, Robyn does eventually walk down the steps, and Meri says to her, it's cold, Robyn. And Robyn could have responded any kind of way. Most reasonably would have been something like, oh, I know it's cold out here. Let's go in the house. But Robyn doesn't say that. If she had said that, we wouldn't be talking about this moment. Instead, Robyn says, I think I remember Cody getting you some coats for Christmas. Where are they? Personally, I would not like that kind of question in that moment. I mean, you know that I'm cold. You see that I don't have a coat. You can either try to make me feel silly or stupid about this moment, or just help me. Just love me and help me. Well, Meri was being very cordial and responds to, I am kind of sensitive, but Meri responds to what I would consider a condescending question. And she says the coats are in the closet at her house, and that she just didn't realize how cold it was going to be outside. To Robyn's credit, she does eventually offer to help Meri. She asks her, do you want me to get you a blanket? And she goes in the house, but she ends up coming outside with one of Cody's coats. Well, while Robyn is inside, the show cuts to an interview that Meri has with producers. And in that, Meri shares that the only time she sees Cody is when she comes over to Robyn's house. In that moment, Meri doesn't go into more detail about that. Like, we don't know. Does Meri visit Robyn and Cody often? Does Meri get to go inside to visit Robyn and Cody? We see that Robyn makes Meri sit outside in the cold, but does she make her sit outside in the rain too? I mean, we just don't know. We don't know what those other visits are like. Although later, Meri shares that her and Cody don't see each other very much, which suggests that Meri does not go to Robyn's house very much either. So Robyn comes back outside with Cody's coat, and Meri laughs that wearing his coat will be kind of like Cody's giving her a hug. And I think Robyn knows immediately how pathetic that sounds because she makes kind of a funny face, but she offers to hug Meri so that it feels even more like a hug from Cody. Now, some people are saying that Robyn didn't let Meri into her house because of concerns about COVID, but this moment I don't agree with that because Robyn gives Meri a hug, and they're not social distancing. So yeah, I don't think that COVID had anything to do with Robyn making Meri sit out in the cold. There's other speculation that Robyn's house is a mess, and she didn't want to have this conversation with Meri inside her home because that would mean the cameras would come inside. I think I actually have another video about the state of Robyn's house, and if I can find it, I'll link it here or in the description box. But at the end of the day, I do think there is some truth to that. The few moments that we have seen of Robyn's home, there are glimpses of, stuff out of place and kind of a lot of stuff. People say it's hoarding. I don't know, but there's something about it. But we can't stop our thinking there because there have been times when the show has filmed in Robyn's house. Which takes us back to the question, why didn't Robyn let Meri inside the house? And I think to answer this question, we need to look at their book, Becoming Sister Wives, The Story of an Unconventional Marriage, Chapter 4, page 65. This is Robyn's first chapter in the book, second page in her chapter. All right, Robyn writes, the aftermath of my marriage, she's talking about her first marriage. The aftermath of my marriage left me feeling vulnerable and used, as well as exposed and helpless. I felt betrayed. I needed to regain my confidence and my inner strength to ensure that I would never be mistreated again. It took me a while to realize that the only person I could rely on to protect me was myself. When I discovered this, I invented an alter ego who became my protector. Robyn goes on to write about Shira, her alter ego who protects what Robyn calls the, quote, softer, more sensitive parts of her psyche. And if you're interested in a video that goes a little further into Robyn and her alter ego, then let me know. But for now, I think it's just important to see that Robyn opened her chapter in the book, basically introduced herself to a new audience by sharing that, yes, she has been hurt in the past, whether or not you believe it. That's what she says. Yes, she's been hurt in the past. And no, she will not be hurt again because now she knows how to protect herself. In fact, she's so committed to not being hurt again that she's created a whole character whose only job is to, quote, put up a fortress and develop a hard, impenetrable side so that Robyn would not fall for anyone's tricks again. I think that passage helps us understand Robyn in a different way, and I think it helps us understand how Robyn decides when the cameras can be in her house and when they cannot. Now, if you've been to my channel before, then you know I don't have a perfect memory about this show. There's sometimes I get some details wrong, but okay, right now, I think it's been a very long time since Robyn has filmed a serious, vulnerable conversation inside her home. If you can remember that, let me know in the comments. When was the last, for real conversation that Robyn had inside of her home? I mean, there have been family gatherings filmed in Robyn's Flagstaff home, and I just remember Robyn kind of floating around in the background. There was also that strange conversation, I think it was season 16, where Robyn told her kids that Janelle and Christine basically don't love y'all anymore. They're not going to follow Cody's COVID protocols, and they're not going to come over to spend the holidays with you because I'm so sorry. They just don't love you. I don't know why they don't love you. That was such a terrible moment. But anyway, I don't think it's all about COVID or all about possible hoarding or having a messy home. I don't think that's what makes Robyn decide whether or not cameras can be in her house. I do think that it's about the idea that Robyn could build a wall around her house. So in the same way that 10 years ago, Robyn wrote in their book that she had built a wall around the sensitive parts of her psyche, I could very well see her building the same type of emotional wall around her home. I mean, it's like, if you want to come in and watch me open presents with my kids, yes, you can do that in my home. If you want to watch me eat Thanksgiving dinner with my husband and our kids, yes, you can do that in our home. Even if you want to watch me have a weird, difficult conversation with my kids, yes, you can do that in my home, but just know that I'm going to be very careful with what is said, and none of it will include me putting any blame on myself. Now, outside of that, difficult conversations with sister wives, conflicts with Cody, none of that will be filmed in Robyn's home. I think Robyn is trying to protect whatever peace lives inside her home in the same way that she tried to protect whatever peace lives inside of her. In a lot of ways, taking that kind of position on a reality show is not really fair to the rest of the family. Janelle will show us the inside of every messy home she's lived in, which is no shade to Janelle. I love her. And also her house is usually in disarray when she's filming. But anyway, whatever. Janelle will show us that. And Christine, it seems like she'll film every difficult conversation she seems to have, whether it's in her home or not. And I get the feeling that no one really wants to go over to Meri's house to film at all. But at the same time that they're going through that, I assume they're all getting paid roughly the same amount. And yet Robyn seems to have this hard line about when they can film in her house and when they cannot. So that's my theory about why Robyn did not let Meri come into her house. The real test will be, of course, watching the rest of season 18 to see if there are any, like, for real, hard conversations that happen inside Robyn's home this season. We know those conversations happened. We know that Robyn is not really floating through life in the background, not having an opinion on any of this. We know she's having these hard conversations. Are they going to happen in her house? I don't think so. I think that Robyn has her she-ra wall built around her house, and she's not going to let that energy or whatever word she would use to describe it. I don't think she's going to let that in her home, at least not on camera. As always, though, let me know what you think. Do you see how I got from point A to point B in this conversation, and do you agree with my conclusion? Do you think that Robyn is just trying to protect her own sanity, I guess? I don't know. As always, let me know. You can either put it down in the comments and we can continue the conversation down there, or we'll just meet in the next video because I'm hooked. I got a lot going on and I'm still making time to watch Sister Wives because this show is important. I think. Maybe not. Whatever. I'm watching it. Thanks for being here. Take care. Bye.